Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Chris Plays Games. The premise of this series, I'm going to be upfront with you, is my name is Chris and I play old video games. I'm going to try and keep it 16-bit and earlier. Now, full disclosure here, I like video games. I'm not necessarily good at video games, but I like video games. My sidekick, Dr. Marcus Birdwell, he is sitting in with me tonight. Full disclosure once again, Dr. Marcus Birdwell is in fact a cat. He is a 5-year-old tuxedo cat, very affectionate. I love the guy. We have adventures together. So, the talking points for tonight, we have, is my long guy a mass murderer? That's been weighing on my mind a lot this week. We also have how many dogs is too many dogs? That's going to be a fun conversation, let me tell you. So, let's talk about Hyperzone for a minute. Hyperzone, this is going to be our first episode. Hyperzone is one of the early titles for the Super Nintendo. I do not recall it being a launch title, but it was an early title nonetheless. It was praised for having good graphics. It simulated 3D by moving sprites around the screen and having them change shape and size. And, I don't know, you be the judge. Is that effective? Does it look 3D? So here we are. The backstory of Hyperzone. Hyperzone is a game where humanity is reaching its end, the planet is dying, and we have decided to save ourselves by colonizing asteroids. I'll say that again. We have decided to save ourselves by colonizing asteroids. Why colonize asteroids? Because science! Who cares if that's impossible? So yeah, one thing you're going to notice as we move through this game, the backstory does not match the in-game action or visuals whatsoever. Doesn't even match the names of the levels. Okay, so here we are, first boss. I'm assuming this is a guy in a spaceship. Who knows? This game's kind of crazy. Alright. Not a particularly hard game, and I am fairly confident I can beat that, but for future reference, when we move on to other games in future episodes of this series, there is no guarantee I will actually beat the games we play. So, alright, Area 2, the Blast Furnace. Yeah. So the controls of the game are pretty simple. The Y button shoots. The D-pad moves you around the screen. You can reverse the D-pad, so up is down and down is up. For those of you who really like your flight simulators. The B button will slow your spaceship down. If you slow down too much, you take damage. If you go off the track, you take damage. If you get hit by a projectile or an enemy itself, you take damage. So, yeah. Just some neat stuff to keep in mind. Excuse me. A little bit itch in my throat tonight. Weird, right? So, by the way, the spaceship for the first couple levels, and every couple levels you get a new ship. The spaceship, when my son wants me to play this game, he, god damn it, really? Second episode and I've already died once. Or second level, I've already died once. My son, by the way, calls the first spaceship Daddy Car. I guess the first spaceship looks like a 2003 Buick Century. My son's 2, by the way, so he's, yeah. Everything looks like something at that age, I guess. Are these the asteroids I'm trying to colonize? Because maybe I shouldn't have been shooting them. Already noticing a recurring theme in Hyperzone is, boxes. I am being attacked by lots and lots of boxes. Oh, gosh. I feel like that was easily avoidable. Alright. Another thing you're going to notice the more we move forward is that they also kind of reuse the bosses from level to level. And this is one part of the game that is easily survived by just sitting in one spot and firing repeatedly. Good technique, by the way, slow down in the healing zones. Why is there a speedometer, by the way? I guess that's just a way to keep you from slowing down too much, just so you have an idea of when you're about to start getting hurt. I mean, it really just feels wholly unnecessary to me. Alright. So really nothing special about the first couple bosses. They have kind of predictable flight paths. And you can avoid most of their attacks just by flying around in a circle pattern. I know, right? And that's it for level 2. Yeah. It's a wholly interesting game, isn't it? I remember when we got this game as kids, my brother and I, and we were so impressed at the time. Area 3, Old Capital, because that really fits the storyline. Here's our first ship upgrade, and we finally get a charge beam. Charge beam is pretty simple. You hold down the Y button until the little meter is full, and release. Nice little strategy, by the way, is holding down the charge beam when there are no enemies, and then letting it go when you see them. As such. Let's go right path. So let's talk about my long guy for a minute. This is an odd thing. So, earlier in the week I'm walking by my TV, and I kind of catch a news story about a mass murderer in Central Florida where the, what do you call it, the Bad at Life Gaming studio is. And, I kind of note, hey, that guy kind of looks like my long guy. But, you know, people look like people, and I just kind of go about my day and not really think about it much. Well, later on, my wife, I guess, sees that somebody posted the story on Facebook, and she shows me her phone and says, hey, not for nothing, is that our long guy? And I said, yeah, I saw the story earlier, I'm pretty sure it's not him. And she goes, well, they have the same name. What? So now I'm looking at this guy's picture. He looks an awful lot like my long guy. They have the same first name, but here's the catch. I don't know my long guy's last name. I have only seen this guy in person maybe twice? I don't know. I don't deal with the guy a lot. He texts me maybe every 2-3 weeks and says, do you need your long cut? And I text him back a yes or a no, and let him know where I'm going to leave the money for him. That's the only interaction I have with him. Like I said, I've only seen him in person twice. So, it's been in the back of my mind this last week or so. Is this guy... Well, is he the guy? Is he the guy that I saw on TV? By the way, this is an odd boss, and this is kind of a recurring theme for the early Super Nintendo games, is to work versions of the controller into the game itself. So yeah, the third boss in the game, you're fighting off the right side of a Super Nintendo controller. Weird. I think there's also references to the controller in Super Mario World. And this is a weird thing, once his shield goes away, he actually kind of follows the movements of your ship. Like... Really? This is kind of a gimme, isn't it? So that was Area 3. That's what's up with the long guy. A little freaked out over it. Alright, we're moving on to Area 4, Grassland. Getting another ship. Neat. So this is where the game gets a little more odd, because up until this point I was under the impression that we were killing machines, and these guys seem biological to me. I feel like I'm killing plants now. I'm not killing machines anymore. Well, now I'm killing mushrooms. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna make a hyper pizza later. Alright. For anybody planning on using this series of videos I am making, by the way, as a walkthrough, well, the quick answer is don't. Like I said, no guarantee I'm actually going to beat the game. And let's be honest, sometimes I'm going to miss hidden levels, I'm going to miss secrets, I'm going to employ bad strategy. So, like I said, I'm not the best gamer, I'm just a guy who likes games. And let's be honest, there's a lot of Let's Play videos out there, alright? There's a ton of them. And I'm willing to bet if you're going to watch this whole video, then you didn't really, then you're not sticking around, you know, to get the tips and the tricks. You're sticking around to see if I'm going to fail out and just swear a lot. So, heck, when we move into some Castlevania games, that's what's happening. That's... Be prepared when we do a Castlevania video to just watch me swear a lot. Well, that was neat. Got a twofer on that one. Alright. Yeah, because fuck you, space caterpillars. Let's see, is this the boss already? It's a little soon, but why not? Oh, gosh. So, now we find ourselves fighting a bunch of strawberries. Yeah, why not? We're fighting a bunch of strawberries, folks. Here we go. And this guy's already almost gone. I think the next level is what I find the most aggravating. See what happens. Another guy, by the way, that you can avoid mostly by just moving in circle patterns. Let's see. I'm gonna kill you like my long guy possibly murdered 3 people. I should really stop that, because if this guy is not a mass murderer, I am totally slandering him right now. Is this illegal? I feel like this could be illegal. Okay. Area 5, the Ripple Field. This is the level I tend to dislike the most. My 2-year-old, by the way, calls this spaceship Mommy Car, because I guess that's what a 99 Honda Accord looks like to a 2-year-old. Oh, so anyway, let's move on to talking point number 2. How many dogs is too many dogs? So, earlier in the week, I think Tuesday, I copped a day off of work. I don't know how it happens, doesn't happen often, but I got one. I hate these spaceship guys, by the way, they annoy the fuck out of me. Ah, fuck you. Yeah, there's too many of you assholes. Why? Oh, fuck. Alright, so anyway, copped a Tuesday off of work. And, with my day off, I decided to exchange tables with a friend of a friend. The problem being that my kitchen table is pub style. It's too tall for someone with a child. And this person has a nice lower table, you know, a regular table. So we arrange for me to borrow a pickup truck from somebody, and I drive over with my pub table, and I get into this person's house and deliver my table and start taking theirs apart. Now the first thing I notice when I get into this person's house is the smell. There's this unmistakable, overbearing dog smell. I'm not really a pets guy to begin with. I think Dr. Birdwell is the first person I've really gotten along with. And he's a cat, so what does that tell you? So anywho, I get into this house, there's an overwhelming dog smell, and there's an overwhelming noise of lots and lots and lots of dogs all barking in unison. So, oh god damn it, really? Again? This fucking level. I fucking hate it. So anywho, I count when I get inside, at least, the very least, 5 dogs in the living room. There could be at least 7. As I get more into the house to deliver this table... Okay, this is what I hate about this boss, by the way, real quick, not to cut off the middle of the story. But he keeps moving in and out of the play field, and it makes him hard as shit to hit. Just, it's not even... Like, avoiding his attacks, obviously, is not difficult, but just trying to hit the guy is such a pain in the ass. Oh god, I'm gonna have an aneurysm by the time this level's over. This fucking guy. Alright, so anyway, I look out on the back porch as I get more into the house. On the back porch, I see at least another 7 dogs. So bare minimum right now, we're at 12. 12 dogs, bare minimum. There could be more. And then later in the week, I mention it to the friend who hooked us up, and they said, oh yeah, there's more dogs in the back room. There's probably twice as many as the ones you saw. So this person, baseline, bare minimum, the least amount of dogs they have in their house at any one moment is 24. 24 dogs. Medium to small size, not large dogs. Area 6 Neomegalopolis? What, am I reading that right? Fuck it. Anywho. 24 dogs. There could be more. Like, that's me being nice with the numbers. That's too many dogs, right? Okay, let's go out on a limb. I don't know. They could be. Let's go out on a limb. Let's say these people are breeders. Do breeders have 24 dogs living in their house at once? At once? Like, even if you're a breeder, like, is there some kind of law that says you can only have so many dogs, even if you're breeding them and selling them? I don't know, man. I'm not kidding. I am not exaggerating. I am not kidding. I know what you're thinking. Some of you out there who hear this are going to be like, fuck you, Chris. Come on, 24 dogs. There's no fucking way. I am not kidding whatsoever. Yeah. Well, that was close. Weird. Ugh. So yeah. I don't know. Somebody leave me a comment and let me know if there's a law, or at least, if nothing else, what your maximum amount of dogs would be. As I tell you, mine ain't 24. I'm thinking 1 at best. I don't know. When I met my wife, she was living with her mom, and her mom, no joke, I think had 3. That was a little much for me. Okay. Well, I say her mom, I should say her parents, but anyway, that's not important. So here we are. Oh god, I always die at least once in this level because of these stupid things. And then when you die, you immediately have to start off the track. There's some cheap bullshit right there. Alright. I believe we are coming up on a boss now. If I remember correctly, this boss is a reappearance of an earlier boss. Yep, there he is. He now has 4 shield parts in the corners of his sprite that you have to destroy before you can really take him out. I think we just destroyed 2. There's 1. No, there. Okay, yeah, we're down, so I can just hit him normally now. Yep, Circle Patterns does it again. Area 6 clear. See, this in no way fits the backstory of the game. And the backstory is what I'm pretty sure was given in the manual that came with the game, so... Area 7, Bioplant. Once again, doesn't match. By the way, this is my favorite HUD throughout the entire game. Bright and colorful. I have that in common with my 2-year-old. We both like things that are just bright and colorful. He likes Mickey Mouse. I like Super Nintendo games. It's, you know, it levels out. We're cool guys. Well, he's a cool guy. I don't know if I'm a cool guy. Alright. These guys are creepy as fuck. Yeah, I don't like when they get close to the screen. That's fucking creepy. Yeah, fuck that. Alright. These guys, the floating eyeballs that look like they could kind of be in a Contra game. Fuck, I made a mistake there. Only can shoot them when their eyes are open. That sentence sounded bad as fuck, I'm not gonna lie. Only can shoot them when their eyes are open. Does anybody else have this weird fear that when you open your mouth and start talking, that people think you're retarded? Like, you know you're not retarded, but you have this fear that, like, if I walk into a Subway, what I think is coming out of my mouth is tuna fish on white, oil and vinegar. What I'm afraid my sandwich artist is hearing is, I like sandwich. Can I have a sandwich? Yeah. Like, that is a genuine fear of mine. Is that weird? Alright, so here we are in the bioplant. More of these eyeball guys. Not hitting shit in this level. Look at this. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. Oh, this is a cool piece of level design, though. I will say that. I do like the being... I sound like I'm being sarcastic right now. I'm really not. I like this whole idea of forcing the player to drive off the track and then hit these heel zones to keep himself going. I actually feel like they should have... Oh, shit. Less of those heel zones, just to make it more challenging. Alright, so now we are confronted with this boss, who is a worm made out of floating brains. Okay, that makes sense. Worm of floating brains. Brain worm. We're going to call him Brain Worm. I'm sure in the credits, if we see the credits, there will be a name for this guy. I mean, that's how these games work, right? If I remember correctly, they name off all the bad guys, so why wouldn't they name off the bosses? They're going to name off the bosses, right? I'm hinting, I'm 90% sure they don't name off the bosses, and I'm just hinting at that. I wonder why they never made a sequel to Hyperzone. I mean, to be honest with you, if I remember correctly, it was one of the more obscure Super Nintendo games, so the sales weren't that great. But there have been games before where the sales weren't great, and they got a ton of sequels. And this, honestly, all joking aside, all picking, final area, the Hyperzone. I dislike the level design, by the way, on this level, simply because it's too dark. I have a hard time telling when and if I'm going off the track. And because this level is just solely boss fights, there's so much waiting between fights. Like, there's so much of, God, what's going on? Did I beat it? No, there's another one? Okay. So anywho, what was I saying? Oh, right. Why wasn't there a sequel to Hyperzone? I mean, all kidding aside, me making fun of the enemy sprites and, you know, the repetitive gameplay. Lots of games have had a repetitive gameplay and have still survived. Assassin's Creed. Why no sequel to Hyperzone? I mean, these are all problems that are easily fixed by a sequel. There's probably going to be a few episodes of Chris Plays Games later on where we skip the originals and go right to the sequels because, let's face it, some of the originals were terrible. Castlevania on Game Boy. So, who knows? Fighting the Nintendo controller again. That's another part. This one is so dark and the enemies flash so white. When you're actually fighting them, I kind of feel like I'm gonna have a seizure watching it. Okay, now for the cluster of strawberries. I feel like this is another boss that's just kind of a gimme. So many bosses, by the way, fire the same projectile. I feel like they could have come up with more projectiles for this game. Another problem that could have been fixed in Hyperzone 2, but for some reason they didn't make it. By the way, Hyperzone was developed by HAL Laboratories. Same company that put together a lot of Kirby games, and they were pretty good. So if you like Kirby, you're indifferent about Hyperzone. So, there you go. There's that. Still got a good handful of lives left. So I'm feeling pretty confident right now that we're going to finish Hyperzone. I feel like we could do this. Who's next? Is it the snake that moves on and off the playfield? I fucking hate that guy. Oh god, it is. God damn it. This fucking guy. Alright. Alright. I feel like we're doing good this time. I don't know what that says about a game where you're more likely to die in the level and not in the boss fight. Alright. That guy's down. I think next we have the spaceship guy. Could be a guy in a spaceship. Could be a sentient robot. Makes about as much sense as anything else I've seen out of this game so far. Oh no, we have the weird brain worm. Brain worm. This could have been the bad guy in a 1950s horror movie. Or an episode of Star Trek. Original Star Trek. Not Next Generation. I didn't care for Next Generation. Let's face it, Picard is just not as cool as Kirk. I feel like Kirk was a badass and Picard was too... I don't know. It's too refined. I would have liked it better if he were, you know, angry, fist-fighting, you know, banging green women. I don't know. Not a Picard fan. Alright. I feel like we're making good work with the brain worm. We're moving through this guy pretty quick. One segment left. Oh, fuck, really? I feel like if you really were playing this in 3D, it would just give you a fucking headache. Alright, is this spaceship guy? Is this possible guy in a spaceship? Or possible sentient spaceship robot thing? I don't know. Oh, fuck. He nailed me. Look out. Really? Not danger. Look out. Like, I am flying the equivalent of Kit from Knight Rider. Fuck. I try not to swear so much, because having a 2-year-old, he repeats me sometimes. So I try not to swear too much. That's how you wind up with a supermarket and a 2-year-old calling the guy in front of you an asshole. Nothing's better than your 2-year-old yelling, "Little ears, asshole." So, there you go. Alright, the music is fading out. I'm assuming this is the final boss. Oh god. This guy is creepy as fuck. Oh, I don't like this. I've seen this guy before, but it's been a while. I kind of forgot about how... God damn it. Fucking creepy space fetus. Like a flying space fetus. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, my nose is so itchy right now. I feel like I can't scratch it because I gotta kill the space fetus. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Okay, I scratched my nose, but... Fuck you, space fetus. Yeah. Circle patterns. Again. Yeah. I'm 90% sure this guy can hit you when he comes from behind like that. So if you make it to this part of the game, keep that in mind. Creepy space fetus is a bag of dicks. Whoa! Oh, God, get off the screen, you fucking creepy... God, no, come on! What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. This guy is a bag of dicks. Creepy space fetus bag of dicks. My god, you could take a lot of hits. Jesus. Yeah. As long as he doesn't attach himself to the screen again, I think I'm good. If he does that again, I'm just going to turn the game off and call it a night. That'll be the end of the episode, is me being creeped out by Space Fetus and saying I can't play anymore. Good night, folks. Alright. Oh. Fuck you. I wonder if you play the Japanese version of this, if they get a different backstory that makes sense. I don't know. Yeah. Ah. Come on. God, this guy... I feel like compared to the other bosses, I shouldn't be having to hit him this many times. You know what I mean? Oh, there he goes. I blew up the Space Fetus. Final area clear. Let's watch some credits. I'm so glad I did not fail Hyperzone of all games in the first episode. That would have sucked. Alright, seriously, bottom middle, the guy's name is Box? The fuck? Yeah, seriously, Box. Wow. Alright, we've also got Hidharma. Xander is not a common first name, but that's just a man's first name, Xander. Board B. Alright. Board R. And then Egger. Bottom right is named Egger. Really? Somebody did not get creative with the names here. What else do we got? We got Mumaki and Nahoda, and Nayak and Huki and Musha. My 2-year-old could have named these guys. That's typical toddler gibberish. Awesome. That might be a good episode. I wonder if I just sit here and hand my 2-year-old a Super Nintendo controller and let him play Mario Kart for you guys. He's obsessed with Mario Kart lately. Every time I turn on a Nintendo, Daddy, Mario Kart? Mario Kart? I wonder if that'll be a good episode. Let's watch a toddler fuck up Mario Kart. It'll be awesome. Dust Box. Top left. That's a good one. Dust Box. Really? What else we got? Board W. Oh, the creepy thingy on the top right is Womasi. That's... ugh. It's like a giant space leech. And Team Hyperzone. Okay. Oh, seriously? We don't get the boss names? That's weak. Well, I guess you can't have a name just say creepy fucking Space Fetus. Alright, well that'll do it for episode 1. I hope you enjoyed Hyperzone. I will see you in episode 2. I haven't decided what we'll be playing yet. You'll just have to wait and be surprised. Good night.